Hello everyone, it's Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life. I'm here with another 30 Days of Sketches, Series 11, and a leftover two layout for you. So for today, I'm going to be working with the My Mind's Eye Wild Asparagus collection. Again, this is one of the ones I pulled for the Leftovers to Layouts series. Also a cut file that was in my stash, and we're going to be working with day 17 from 30 Days of Sketches Series 11. This is the sketch from Christine, and she's Scrappy Harden on Instagram, but she also has a YouTube channel, so I'll try to make sure to have that all linked below. And really, what I'm thinking here is that I want to use that cut file because it has the circular elements that I can see in the sketch, and it kind of does the job for me, so I don't have to think about placement. It has more than 3 circles, but it has 3 larger circles, and that is what I'm going to go with. Now, this collection, if you remember me talking about it the other day, problem with it for me is that there's no white to it. It doesn't have a crisp whiteness to it. So I am going to trim this piece of pattern paper so I can put it with a little white border, and then the cut file is white. So it's going to help kind of clean it up for me and help make my eye happy. I also decided as I'm looking at this that it needed a little bit more than just adding a cut file to it, and so my plan is to stitch, and I'm going to stitch around one of the big circles, and I'm going to add sequins to the big circle, and it's going to look fantastic, but it's going to take me some time. So this was about a day and a half, 2-day project, I would say. I kind of sat and was watching a couple shows while I did some stitching, and then I would put it down, walk away, come back and do some more. But in the end, I'm really happy with how it turned out. And the sequins I used are from my stash, so they're older. I'm not sure that you can get them anymore, but they were called, I can't even remember what they were called now. But it's a really gorgeous collection that made me think of spring, which is perfect because we're in April. We need to think of spring right now. And I just had fun. I'm getting back into the swing of trying to create more after, almost, I feel like it's been almost a year of not really being able to create more than a layout here and there. And this is kind of the first month where I feel like I'm kind of getting my groove back and things are going better. So this is called Vintage Garden, the sequin mix. And yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and do one stitching thing with green, and then I do the other ones with white with the other sequins. And I love the way that looks. It kind of just helps make it stand out. I'm then going to take the 3 smaller circles and just put sequins in the middle of it. So it's a faux shaker because I was not in the mood to try to fuss and deal with a shaker pocket. But I really love it. It brings some bling to it. I like how where I'm going to put my title has a bit of sparkle, and it just really brings the whole layout together in my opinion. I did not stitch around the 2 larger circles because I want to fit photos in there and I wanted to be able to do some tucking and stuff. So I felt like if I stitched, obviously that would make it so I couldn't do that. And I didn't know what photos I was going to use while I was doing all the stitching. So we're just going to let it be, and we will find some photos to fit in this in a minute. I just really wanted to show you how I was making these work. Sometimes when I don't think lazy is the right option, but when you don't want to fuss and do a whole sequin shaker, just putting down some glue, putting your sequins on, and then pressing down, letting it dry, and then just giving it a little flick, and what falls off, and just letting it be. I love it. I've honestly never had much of an issue. A few sequins fall off here and there, but in my albums, they stay. I've never not been happy with it, and I've been doing that technique for quite a few years now. As long as you're using a really good wet adhesive, you won't have any issues. I'm now going to come in because we are trying to use this collection. So I'm trying to use some pieces. I got a couple florals used up. I did get the little bird used up, which makes me happy. I stick him up there. And also that beautiful day in yellow up at the top, just so there's something else falling off the page. I'm going to work on my title. I find the word everyday and beauty. So I'm going to use those two things along with a tag that I'll bring in, just kind of documenting how these two photos were taken in April of 2020, so right in the middle of kind of lockdown and not being able to go anywhere. And I'm just kind of talking about how we enjoyed even everyday small things like a beautiful sunrise, and Barrett loved to just sit and look out the window and watch, not that there was a ton of traffic, but watch the traffic go by and just kind of watch the world go by. If his brother and sister were outside playing, he'd watch that too if he was in for a nap. And that's just kind of what this is talking about. So it has a subtle nod to the fact that it's spring with my colors, but really it's a pandemic layout, but it doesn't read that, which makes me happy. So all I'm going to do to finish this off is add a couple of these really fun puffy butterflies. They are from Shadney's Etsy shop, so I'll make sure to have that linked below as well if you're interested in purchasing them. But I love them, and the colors just really worked with this collection, thankfully, which is awesome. I love being able to mix sequins with wood veneer or anything from Shadney. It's nice to mix my two design teams together, and this was a great example of that. All right, guys, so here's a look at my finished layout. Links for Spiegel Mom Scraps, Shadney, and for Christine are down below. I will also, of course, have a link for 30 Days of Sketches Facebook group. See you all soon. Bye.